What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cam ATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I figured it's been a minute since I've done an NFL video for you guys, man. So I wanted to bring you a first look lineup for these playoff games coming on Saturday and Sunday. The Bears ended up losing the close game to the Eagles with the missed field goal by Parkey. I think he's like hit the upright more than any other player in the history of the NFL. It's ridiculous, actually. But in defense, the ball was tipped. Okay, Parkey's field goal was tipped by an Eagles defensive lineman. All right, so it's not like he just shanked it and like aimed for it to be a dick. It really was tipped. Okay. So, I mean, if you're a Bears fan, maybe give them a little, leeway for that. Now, let's go ahead and get straight into this slate, man. This is for the Saturday, Sunday. This entry that I'm actually in at this moment is the $20 entry, Fantasy Football Quarter Millionaire. All right, now, as you can see, I have my first look lineup in here. We're going to go through and talk about them, exactly why. All right, starting off at quarterback, as you can see, I had Patrick Mahomes. This dude's just been super, super consistent all season long. And him in the playoffs, I expect Kansas City to go out here at home and really put on a performance. Colts defense has looked solid as of late. I don't think it'll matter. Patrick Mahomes is just too good, and his price is solid. It's a solid price for him to be played here, and you can easily build a lineup with him as well. Honestly, I'm going to go through these other guys too because there's a few other guys that I'm interested in. I am interested in Drew Brees against Philly. The problem is he's only 300 less than Mahomes. So that's really a tough decision. I'm going to go with Mahomes, who has averaged more points throughout the season so far. But Drew Brees is a fine play at 6'7" too. If you happen to need $300, I don't see a big reason why you can't go down the Drew Brees. But for only the 300 difference, I was just going with Mahomes and pairing him with our boy Kelsey. Andrew Luck is also a very good option. I do expect Mahomes to score, obviously. So Andrew Luck is going to have to throw a lot. I think Luck is a good option at 6'2". I won't be going much Phillip Rivers. I think the Chargers are going to lose to New England pretty easily here. Tom Brady, not too interested in him either. Jared Goff against Dallas, not getting much exposure. Nick Foles against New Orleans is a decent option at 5'4", but New Orleans secondary has been solid this year. Not much Dak Prescott either. As you could see at running back, I had Ezekiel Elliott because the Rams are actually giving up some good rushing yards. I believe it's over 122 rushing yards a game to running backs. So I expect Ezekiel Elliott to be a big part of this, just like he was a big part of their last playoff game, the wild card game. Okay, so Ezekiel Elliott at 8'2", absolutely love him. Todd Gurley coming back from his injury issue, going against Dallas, who has been very stout versus the run. I'd rather just pay up for Zeke Elliott and get that safety. As you can see, James White at 4'9". I like James White a lot here against the Chargers. Okay, he's been very solid lately. If you look at his game log, the last 2 games, he hasn't been getting a lot of rushing attempts, but as always, he's getting some solid targets in the pass game. And he's only 4'9", gives you a pretty safe floor guy. James White has always been a guy that really shows up when the playoffs come to as well. So I expect James White to have a very good game here at 4'9". Let's look at some other options real quick that I wasn't able to get with money, but let's just zoom through them. Alvin Kamara is a solid option at 7'3". I'm not interested in Melvin Gordon. Marlon Mack against Kansas City. I expect the Colts to have to try to play keep up with Kansas City, and I don't know how much I really believe in Mack as a pass catcher. Mark Ingram is a decent option, but with Alvin Kamara, I don't really... I'm not going to play both of them, obviously. Damian Williams against the Colts is a solid option at 5'1". Okay, I battled between him and James White for a little bit, but James White's just a little more consistent. In the playoffs, he always tends to show up. I like James White. And that's about it when it comes to running backs. T.Y. Hilton, running back. So as you can see, I have Mahomes, and as you see at tight end, I have Kelsey here. I'm going to run back that love on the other side because this is one of my favorite games right here. And I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton against Kansas City. Kansas City's secondary sucks. Bottom in the league at everything. They've been giving up a ton of yards. As you can see, I'm pairing up T.Y. with Dontrell Inman. Both of those guys on the other side of the ball against Kansas City because I believe in Kansas City's offense. I expect Kansas City to get up, especially at home, and the Colts to have to throw a lot. What does that mean? A lot of T.Y. Hilton, a lot of Dontrell Inman. Same kind of mindset here with Mike Williams. Now, I would expect them to really, New England's defense, to take Keenan Allen out of the game, okay? I would expect Keenan Allen to get held in check. That's going to open up targets for Mike Williams. Okay, I like Mike Williams a lot. He's been second on this team in targets. I highly expect Mike Williams to have a very good game here at 4-7. He's a nice little under-the-radar play. I don't know how many people will really be on him, but I really think that he could be a guy that really explodes. I definitely see him getting a touchdown in this matchup here against New England because, like I said, Belichick takes away your number one. I expect that to be Keenan Allen, which is going to open up targets for Mike Williams. And the other guys on the offense, too, as well, if you want to find a real cheap one, like Tyrell or one of those guys. Travis Kelce to pair up with my boy Mahomes. There's been no better pairing in the league this year than Mahomes and Kelce. So I'm rolling that through and even into the playoffs. Golden Tate. All right, I like Golden Tate a lot here. I didn't get much exposure to the New Orleans-Philly game here because I love the Colts-Kansas City game so much. But I definitely wanted some exposure. Okay, Golden Tate got some very good targets. He got 8 targets in that game against Chicago. Okay, against New Orleans. Okay, New Orleans struggles a lot against the slot. And guess what? That's where Golden Tate runs a lot of his routes. So I think Golden Tate can have a very good game here in at 4-6. Love it. Now at defense, here's the thing. We're in the playoffs, guys. Okay, none of these defenses are going to be great. I don't see it, okay? All of these offenses are too good. I don't see any of these defenses doing very well. So I'm punting defense. I'm getting the very minimum, and I'm getting who I want elsewhere, pretty much. So I'm going with the Eagles D against New Orleans. In no way do I think Eagles D is going to stop New Orleans. I definitely do not think they're going to stop New Orleans. But at bare minimum, only 2,000. And all of these teams being in playoffs, really any of these defenses could get lit up. I'd rather just take the cheapest one and get lit up that way. Okay, honestly. That's how I like to play the playoffs. Most of the time I won't really care for defense. I'll pay for the cheapest one and just totally punt it and get who I want elsewhere. If you have extra money left over, then go ahead. Pay up for a little bit of a better defense if you really feel that's the way to go, but I really don't. I like to get bare minimum defenses when it comes to the playoffs. And that's it, guys. Patrick Mahomes, Ezekiel Elliott, James White, T.Y. Hilton, Dontrell Inman, Mike Williams, Travis Kelce, Golden Tate, and Eagles defense. It's the first look lineup for this next round of playoffs, man. I hope everybody enjoys it. Go to greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for it. We dominated the wild card slates. So it's time to go ahead and continue it through the playoffs. As I told you guys, we are providing for that. Make sure you get involved with NBA too, man. We're not even almost halfway, I believe, in NBA season. So go to greenlightdfs.com for that as well. And let's get it.